Hi, thank you for watching any video blog today from Tallinn, Estonia. How do you recognize self-hate? Self-hate is a topic that you will not hear a lot about. It's all nowadays about self-love and this more narcissistic thinking about worshipping yourself and your own ego. But we don't really hear a lot about self-hate, because if there's self-love, there must also be self-hate. Now the reason that we might not hear a lot about this is because it is connected towards sinful behavior. Sins are basically self-hate. Anything that will harm you, that is considered self-hate. Because many of the sins, for example addiction, they might look at first good for you. For example alcohol. You will drink something and you will feel a little bit enlightened, you will feel better. So it might look good, but of course eventually it is killing yourself, it is harming yourself. It's a form of self-hate. Because why did you use the alcohol in the first place? It's because you didn't feel that well. Maybe about yourself, maybe the situation where you're in. And you try to soften it. And you think that using this alcohol is helping you. And it does help you a little bit. You feel in that moment, you feel a little bit better. You feel euphoric. And you might get addicted to it. And it's a sin. And with sin, I mean, it's a demon that has got into you and is telling you, look, you can, if you are not worth enough, you're bad, they say all these things, you're a loser, and you will start to act upon it. You start to hate yourself. You start to think, oh, I'm such a loser, and not maybe something that you will consciously will think, but it's something that you unconsciously will start to think, because you want to change something. And then you start to develop a self-hate for whatever reason. And self-hate, again, is you hurting yourself, doing things that will hurt you. And that can be many things, like I say, all the sins, but also like wanting to change who you are, changing your appearance. But it can also be gambling. Anything that makes your life more miserable. And that's it, a little short dopamine rush. It gives you this good feeling. Say you're addicted to getting tattoos or piercings. That's always something that I hear, is that they say, oh, once I started with one, I couldn't stop anymore. I wanted to have more tattoos. You barely see people that having just one. It's mostly more. And I'm not saying, it's as anybody's choice, but I can see that there is an addictive element in this. You're hurting yourself. It's also not very healthy for you. Putting on this ink under your skin, it's not really healthy. It's not good for you. It can hurt you. Same, of course, with smoking. It can also be gossiping, relations. All these things that religion warns you for. It's not like, don't do it because otherwise God will get upset. It's more like God loves you so much that He doesn't want you to hate yourself. Because if you hate yourself, you also hate God. Because God created you, and you are a reflection of God. So that's why it's important to understand that from now, look at everything in your life and ask, is it something I do that's hurting me? Is this hurting me? Or is this the better version of myself? I hate when people say that, the better version. But in reality they mean behavior that is beneficial towards you. So for example, instead of drinking when you feel lousy, you start to pray. Instead of getting more tattoos, you start to draw. You start to draw paintings of nature, of some saints or some beautiful scenery. That's how you deal with it. And I don't say it's easy. I don't say that I don't have anything. Of course not. But I'm always talking generally. I don't talk a lot about myself. I'm talking about ideas I have, and they are very general. Means that many people can relate to it. So if you feel self-hate in any form, if you feel the need to smoke or something, you might take a raw egg. If you feel the need to gossip about somebody, try to talk nice about somebody. Maybe not the person that you had in mind. For example, you want to gossip about your colleague, but now you start instead to choose to talk about somebody that you like. Because self-hate is basically always behavioral, and you can change that by replacing it with the real self-love is love for nature and for God. So be aware of this and look at things in your life like, is this hurting me? Is this self-hate behavior? Or can I replace this with self-love? And I can say, I'm not perfect, absolutely not. I have also done my things, I still do the things, but I noticed that since I started to be focused on this, I started to change. And the grip of self-hate or sinful behavior became weaker. And like I say, and I replaced my own behavior, for example gluttony. I made a video blog, you can watch it right here. That's my self-hate maybe. I tend to overeat quickly, I love food, it's very hard for me to not think about food, but now I replace it with prayer or going to church, and that lowers the stress, and I replace it by going to church, praying, and it really helps to get rid of this behavior. So that was it for today from Tallinn, Estonia. I say thank you for watching. See you next time.